Hello, 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 and welcome to the live. If you are new to me or to the channel, I am Katrice, and today I'm going to be talking about the outrage that has happened with President Trump. Um, Canceling or with his executive order, he got rid of all DEI initiatives within the federal government and the private sector. And so the uproar, really, that I've seen so far is with Target. It started with Target and them getting rid of their DEI program. And so I've seen a lot of Black women online, and they're very upset. And Tabitha Brown, she has her products in Target, and so a lot of a lot of Black people are calling for to boycott. Okay, and I want to talk about this because, especially as entrepreneurs, and if you are a product-based entrepreneur, and you have products in these big box stores, um, this could really affect you and your contracts and everything that you have. And so a boycott would more than likely hurt than help the situation. And so that's what we're going to talk about today in this live. So let's go ahead and jump into it. But real quick, like I said, if you're new to me or to the channel, my name is Katrice, and I am the practical insurance agent, and I am a licensed health and life insurance agent. And on this channel, we talk about insurance, we talk about financial literacy, we talk about retirement and estate planning, and I also sprinkle in some mindset and astrology content. So if that is your vibe, welcome to the tribe. Happy to have you here. All right. And so if you are finding, if as you're watching this live, if you find value in this live, please do share it out and also comment. I would love, I want to have dialogue with you. I don't want to just talk. I really want to have dialogue with you. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to comment. I do go back and respond to all comments. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this because the initiative to get rid of the executive order got rid of the DEI initiatives, okay, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion, okay. But if we really take a look at the whole thing, and we really like dive deep and we go in depth and we think about it, who did these initiatives really help? Okay. Um, because I can tell you for one, I hate when they're like sticking out like that. For one, they mostly helped, especially in the corporate scene. They helped white women. Okay. They helped white women to get managerial positions, to not be so also with pay. It also helped white women as far as like with pay. And so it didn't really help Black women. Okay. And Black women, we have been very loud and very vocal about uh, how, a lot of Black women they are upset that Donald Trump is in office. They are upset with the things that he is doing with the pen, and they've been very vocal about that. And everybody has a right to be and feel how they want to feel, but you got to think about this critically, okay? If you if you really think about it, it wasn't helping us to begin with. And if anything, it was keeping us down more than it was helping us to excel, right? And so it's like we already know the relationship between Black women and white women, right? And how white women feel about us, and how they act, and the whole "I'm cool with you, we cool," it's like, and then they turn around and they stab you in the back. Okay, like, and let's just keep it 100. Okay, I'm not one of those people who likes to sugarcoat shit. Like, I'm a keep it 100, and I don't normally speak on a lot of things like this. I've decided that in 2025, I'm going to start being more vocal about things because of the trajectory where things are going, right? Um, One thing that Black women, that we need to turn our focus away from what's going on in Washington and put our focus on us, especially if you are an entrepreneur. Now, I'm not saying not to keep up with what's going on, okay, because that would actually be stupid, right? Yes, you need to be aware of the changes that this administration is making, okay, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because a lot of the changes that will be made will actually be favorable for entrepreneurs. Okay. So you definitely want to, this is just really, I think it's on this side. No, it's on this side. It's just irritating. No, it's on this side. No, it's on this side. Okay. It don't matter. I was trying to fix, like, if you can see this little piece sticking out, I think it's, no, yeah, right here. That was irritating the heck out of me. Okay. And I can see it. I'm like, ah, okay. Anyway, so a lot of the changes that's going to be made with this administration very much so will affect entrepreneurs. Okay. And so if you're an entrepreneur, then you definitely want to pay attention. If you are not an entrepreneur, you still want to pay attention, and you may want to think of how you can pick up some type of side hustle. Okay. One thing that I will say is that the Republican Party is for entrepreneurs. It is for entrepreneurs. It is not for the worker. Okay. And so if you have been wanting to become an entrepreneur, if you have a side hustle that you are wanting to give more of your energy to, you need to do that, because these next 4 years, I just really feel will be more favorable for entrepreneurs, especially women, Black women entrepreneurs. Okay. Um, so don't, you don't have to. And another thing is, you don't have to like the administration. Okay. There's nothing saying that you have to like this administration. You don't have to like Donald Trump. Okay. You don't have to love him. You don't have to want to be a part of MAGA or the Republican Party. You don't have to identify with any party. However, what you what you ought to be doing, I won't say should, what you ought to be doing is paying attention to the policies and the things that are coming out that can favor you if you are an entrepreneur, and use that to your advantage. Okay. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who is sitting in the chair, who is holding the pen. Okay. It doesn't directly affect your day to day. Okay. Yes, it will have some semblance, it will have some effect in the the grand scheme of things, but on the day-to-day minute level, it is not going to affect you like that. Okay. And so you need to shift, you ought to, not need to, you ought to shift your focus from focusing so much on what is going on in Washington, and making sure that no matter what goes on in Washington, that you and your family and your business will be good. Okay. But getting back to DEI and back to how a boycott would not be a good thing for Black people to do. Okay. This would really, really hurt Black entrepreneurs. Okay. Any Black entrepreneur who has their products in one of the big box stores, so Target, Walmart, um, it would really hurt them because those entrepreneurs are on a contract to sell a certain amount of product. Okay. And if they don't get those sales, if we boycott those stores, that means those entrepreneurs are not going to make their sales within the store, which they could be a breach of their contract. And so then they are not going to be able to fulfill their contract. Okay. That means they have to pay back any advances or anything that they've received. They're going to have to pay all of that back. Okay. Now, I get it that, everybody is up in arms and it's pissed off. But if you really think about it, if the government has to tell these corporations that they need to be more diverse and include more people, they really didn't want to include you to begin with. They were only doing it because the government said they needed to. So you really can't be pissed off that they have decided to roll back their DEI initiatives because they really didn't want to begin with. So I think once you shift your perspective and look at it from the standpoint of they didn't want to they didn't want to actually, be inclusive to begin with, I think the outrage will simmer down because at the end of the day, people are going to shop where they're going to shop. And from past experiences, boycotts never work that long. They don't work that well because depending upon where people live, like at one point, when Walmart got rid of their DEI, they were like one of the first ones to get rid of their program, which we all know how Walmart is. Walmart is racist. It's simple as that. I used to work for Walmart, so I know firsthand, right? And Walmart, people were upset and they were like, oh, I'm going to boycott Walmart. Well, for a lot of people, that was not even possible because Walmart was the only place in their area to go get groceries. So if they boycotted Walmart, what were they going to do to feed themselves and their families, right? So boycotts are not something that work for a lot of Black people. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that, and Walmart did that. They strategically put themselves in places, pushed out small mom and pop stores and put themselves in places so that if people, it was for sustainability for their company, but also if people were to boycott or do something like that in those small towns, they wouldn't have anywhere else to go to get groceries or to get whatever they need. Walmart is it. So they knew what they were doing, right? And so if you are wanting to make changes, real lasting changes, you've got to stop going without and start going within as a community, as a community, as a collective community. We can no longer, we need to stop talking so much. That's the first thing. We just get online and we just vomit and we just talk so much and we just so emotional. We have got to learn to rein in our emotions. We've got to do that because they know Black people are emotional. They know Black women are emotional, and we've been showing it all over social media ever since Donald Trump got in office. How emotional we are, how upset we are, and we keep saying, "Oh, I'm gonna just." I'm just not gonna deal with it, and I'm just gonna let everybody fuck around and find out, and da 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 da. But we're still vomiting up the emotion. And if you really want to be 100% transparent and 100% truthful about it, okay, um, you need we have got to we've got to really focus on building up our community, focus on building ourselves up, focus on our value, and focus on like we hold ourselves to this like really high standard, um but yet we don't hold these other companies to the high standard that we hold ourselves. We have got to learn to start giving ourselves grace, giving our entrepreneurs grace, and knowing that they are human and that they make mistakes, and that, you know, because you don't go in these other race stores, in the white people stores, in the Asian stores, in the Indian stores, you don't go in there cutting up, acting a fool, but you do it within our own. And that needs to stop, right? On the flip side, too, though, as business owners, we need to also have higher standards for our service that we do provide to our patrons, right? And make sure that we are giving the best quality of service that we can give. That's the first thing that needs to happen. That's a lot of tension, a lot of things that I see going on. Um, the next thing that we need to do is we do need to shop more with our own. Okay. Um, and we need to focus more on, because there's a lot of, we need to focus on inclusion within the Black community, because this is not talked about enough, how colorism is a real issue within the Black community. And I see it so much on social media. And if you think it doesn't affect business, it definitely does. I don't give a shit what you say. You okay? I don't give a shit what nobody says. Colorism is a real problem in the African American community, and it really does affect every area of our our community. Um, and so that's something else that, we need to stop looking outward for the government to fix what's wrong within the Black community. Because newsflash, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They don't care. I don't know. I know you may think that the government is supposed to care, but they don't, because we live in a republic. We live in a corporation. Okay. So they're concerned with the corporation and how the corporation is operating. Okay. You see that President Trump just came up with this new office, the Department of Government Efficiency. Okay. You see stuff like that in corporations. They have an office, a department that looks at the efficiency of, and they will start deleting whatever they need to delete to keep the company running, to keep it more efficient. They will delete. Why do you think companies delete and get rid of whole departments? Because it's not efficient. It's no longer helping the bottom line of the company, which is what this new department is supposed to be doing for the government. Okay. The government does not care about you. They don't. I mean, you, as much as you want them to, the government does not care about you. And they definitely, they don't care about black people. They're not concerned with black people. Like, and that's not to say that that's a bad thing, because we need to be concerned with ourselves. I think we have been looking outside of our community for other people to respect our community, and we have got to respect our community. Period. We have got to respect our community. We have got to stop other people, other races disrespect our community because we disrespect our community. We disrespect from within, but we expect others to respect us from without. That doesn't make sense. That's not going to work. That's just like self-love. Like, you expect somebody outside of you to love you, but you don't love yourself. And the black community as a whole really needs to work on its self-love. That is a lot of the issue with black people, and that is why we have continuously been at the bottom, because we don't love ourselves enough to make sure that we are straight before we start trying to invite everybody in and help everybody and do this for this person and do that for that person, and trying to show um trying to show other races that we are this and we are that, and to change the narrative on how they see us. How do we see ourselves? Because how we see ourselves is what is projected out, and that's what they see. So Trump canceling DEI and making things back to merit based. Um, I mean, honestly, it wasn't helping us to begin with. It's just like the affirmative action. Affirmative action was not benefiting us as much as we thought it was. Affirmative action was more so benefiting the Asian and Indian populations than it was African Americans. It wasn't. Like, call a spade a spade. It is what it is, right? And people might get on here and they might have a whole lot to say about what I done had to say, but I don't care. Because if you really honestly be honest with yourself and really take a look at the facts and the data, you will see that all of these initiatives, they did not truly, on a grand scale, help the African American community. And honestly, it may have hurt us more than it did to help us, right? And it may have gotten us in complacent in looking for the government to help us. And so now we are at a crossroads. Okay. Today is the new moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is all about it's about the collective. It's about the people. Okay. It's about the we and not the I. Okay. The Capricorn energy, Pluto has now moved into Aquarius. There's going to be a whole lot of transformation. When Pluto was in Aquarius, when Pluto was in Capricorn, it was a lot of dismantling. You saw a lot of dismantling from 2008 to 2024. You saw a lot of dismantling of government, of corporate systems, things just falling apart. Okay. And since Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn, has been in Pisces, there has also been a lot of revealing coming out. The rose-colored glasses are gone. Um, and you have saw a lot of things come out about a lot of people in high profile, right? And so with Pluto now being into Aquarius, it is now time for the people to take on and to really do get back focused on themselves, and stop looking out to an outside source and start focusing on the inner. And so for the Black collective, um, I don't look at this DEI removal as a bad thing. I look at this as a move to where we now truly need to focus on us and focus on ourselves and our community and how we can grow, how we can flourish, how we can come up with our own grocery stores, and how we can come up with our own banks and services. And yes, we do have some of those things, but it's very few and far in between. This is a time where we can really focus on coming up with things that are going to help our community to flourish and grow without dependence on outside sources. Okay, because if you look at other races, if you look at the Latino population and you look at the Asian population, they have grocery stores, right? They have hospitals, medical centers. They have an infrastructure. Okay, the Black community does not. We lack infrastructure, and we are looking outside of our community for somebody outside of our community to provide that infrastructure for ourselves. And so until it doesn't matter how many DEI initiatives there are or what legislation is proposed in order to make things equal. It's not going to be equal because they don't want it to be equal. And so instead of us trying to make things equal, we need to focus on how can we be great within our community. And it starts with us giving ourselves real self-love, being real with ourselves about where we are currently and the real steps that we are going to take as a community to do better. Okay. So that's my 2 cents on DEI and why, especially as Black women entrepreneurs, we don't even need to be focused on that. We don't even need to be focused on the DEI initiatives. If you know, or if you shop at Target and Black entrepreneurs who have their products in these stores, the best way that we can help them is to purchase their merchandise until they move their merchandise out of the store. And then you can still purchase with them on their website, right? Help them to fulfill their contract. And then once their contract is fulfilled, you can, if you're a fan of their work, you can still purchase with them from their website or whatever, right? But boycotting would be the worst thing that we could do right now with all of this going on, because it would really just harm us more than it would help. Okay. So those are my 2 cents. And so if you found value in this, please do. If you found value, then please do comment below, give it a thumbs up if you found value, and then share it out so that others can find value as well. Also, if you are in need of a life insurance, like I said, I am a health and life insurance agent. So if you need insurance, if you need life or health insurance, you can book an appointment with me. All of my information is in the description of this live. Okay. So until next time, remember, no one is coming to save you. And so you have to make sure that you save yourself. All right. Have a good one. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Why is it doing this? Turn that stuff on the right. On the right side.
What? Turn what on the right side?
Those pants and that shirt.
They're not on wrong. Look.
The other ones you took off. What is going on? Why does it do this? Shit be irritating me.